Hello viewers, today we're going to finish servicing and repairing this Lakewood 1200 DX VN. This is supposed to be part 2, though now I can't find the video of part 1. I may have canceled it out by mistake, so if that video isn't released directly before this one, then I guess I canceled it out. Oh well. It's not really a big deal because everything that I had done on the fan to disassemble it to this point was already shown on video once, and that was on the initial cleaning of this fan when I first got it. So if that video is gone, you know, oh well, no big deal. You can go back and watch the other video to see how to get it to this point. So the problem that we're looking at today is it just spins real slow. Yeah, it doesn't work right. We'll show it real quick here. And that's about all we get out of it. So the problem is the bearings are really stiff, very difficult to turn, and this can happen after so many years if the wrong kind of lubrication is used or a very cheap lubricant is used. Over time it kind of becomes sticky as it dries out, and then we encounter this. So what we need to do is we need to clean out the bearings. Now the dilemma in this case is that the motor is riveted shut, and so we can't easily do that. So we're going to have to drill out the rivets today in order to get to the motor. And I bought some screws, and we'll replace the rivets with screws so that it can be serviced in the future again should it need it. So let's remove, I'm going to have to remove the guard in order to work on it, but then because the design is stupid, the whole motor is just going to be flopping around. I'm going to start with removing the oscillation arm here at the bottom. And then I'll remove, actually all this stuff has got to come out. Yeah, because we got to do a full cleanup on this thing, so all this is going to have to come out, which is kind of a pain in the neck, but this is what has to happen. Little clips here holding the wires in. We'll just kind of push that back to pull the wires out. And that's good. That'll give us enough room to work. And then we'll take the oscillation mechanism off. There are 2 screws. Okay, that's free now. Okay, there it goes. And now we'll go back to the front and we'll take the guard off, which is also going to, well actually the guard, we're not going to take the guard off because the guard doesn't really come off because the design is stupid. It's really the motor that's going to come off of the guard. So there goes the motor, and in fact the guard can just stay in place because this will just pull through and we have enough slack to work with here. So now this is where it's going to be getting kind of interesting. We're going to have to drill out these rivets, and Maybe a little bit tricky because they look pretty substantial, which is kind of ironic because nothing on these fans was substantial. These were not very well made fans at all. Certainly not Lakewood's finest product. As far as drill bits go, we're going to need one that's this big. Try and start with that. If I can't get a good hole going, we'll start with this one and we'll work our way up in size. This will be the most difficult part of the process, is just getting these rivets to come off. Alright, so let's see here. I'm going to start with the biggest drill bit. This way perhaps we can only just do it once. Now let's see how well this material reacts to this bit. Okay, so I think it'll work fine. We got a good hole started there, so we'll just go right through with this. Okay, we got a ways to go still. Okay, we're starting to break through. It's kind of a soft material, so it drills through relatively easily. It's not quite ready to break off yet. The positioning of this hole that I'm drilling is not ideal. It's kind of moving down a bit. You know what? I'm just realizing that the thickness of the material on the other side is a fraction of what it is there. I should do it from this side instead. Make the task a little bit easier. In fact, I could possibly even set the motor up on a roll of tape and make it further easier. Beautiful. Now it's easier to work on. Okay, let's try it again now that we're in a better situation. The hole is not exactly centered again. Disc. How in the world did they do this? Tell me they go all the way through. It's like one solid piece or something. You know what? I'm going to try the smaller one. See if I can get a better angle with this. As the hole isn't going exactly where I want it to go. Still not going where I want it to go. Okay, well, let's try back on the other side. I'm going to start with the smaller bit this time and see if I can have better results keeping it centered. The problem is, once the shavings fill up, I can't see where the hole is going. There we go, now that's started. Let's progress to something a little bit bigger. Okay, now we should be good to go with the bigger one. That's what we needed, a hole right in the center. And I didn't get that successfully before, which caused a problem. Slipped off again. Whatever material they made this out of is a pain to work with. It's too soft to really, I don't know if it's too soft or something, but it's not. It's like just deforming, it's not drilling out. What a nuisance. bit just keeps going right off the head of the rivet, and it goes into the it ends up going into the side of the motor instead. Did that on all three of them so far. It's soft enough. I need to be able to just like hammer it off with a screwdriver or something. Which of course is not really correct, but if it's not going to work otherwise, you do what you got to do. Well, that's not really working too good either. What a nightmare this is turning out into. Jeez. It's starting to lift off a little bit. You have to hacksaw it off. Let's try and do that. Well, it's working. It's going to take some time because my saw blade is kind of dull, but it is working. Okay, so the rivet is gone now. Okay. Now the problem is it's still not going to be ready to come out. I don't think. No, we're going to have to do some more drilling, I think, now. Hopefully I can keep the drill on it. This bigger bit's not working out, so let's try sticking with the smaller one. These bits, oh, they seem like they're still pretty sharp still. I don't know what the problem is here. This is really strange. The metal is just like moving around rather than doing any of the things I'd like it to do. It's almost like it's re-welding itself back to the stinking housing. It's too soft to even put the thing on there. Oh, this is wild. I've never had this much difficulty drawing out a rivet. This is what should be a fairly routine procedure. Let's try and cut it from the other side. Well, this material is much stronger than whatever's on this side. And my concern is if I just keep drilling, we'll go through the housing itself, and then the windings are at risk. This is unbelievable. I've never dealt with anything like this before. Hundreds of motors I've repaired. I've never encountered this. Well, I've encountered riveted, housings. I've dealt with that plenty of times, but they just drill out. This is ridiculous. I can't even see where the stinking thing would have resided anymore. Of course I can't do that. I don't know where the hole is. So I'll try again from this side. It's almost like it's not a rivet, and it's just a piece of soft metal that runs through the whole thing. I feel like I'm going to have to drill through the stinking stator. Okay, I can kind of see where the where the thing is now. The worst part about this is that this fan is not even worth 3 minutes out of the day. Now I'm just proceeding with this because I refuse to be defeated by some stupid planned obsolescence garbage. Pretty sure that we're right on the what should be the rivet now. But it does not at all seem like it's ready to come out. We're going to run into another issue here because this hole is going to get so big that the bolts are not going to stay. I'm going to have to get an additional washer or something. This is really outrageous. I think I'm going to have to drill through the entire length of the stator. Okay, now I'm very confident that the entirety of the rivet's head has been removed. So now we just have to figure out how to push it through. And unfortunately it may be a matter of drilling it all the way through. Oh, no, there it goes. Maybe this stupid flexible nail can make it so useful. So there's the rivet, and it is kind of like one solid piece of soft metal. Waste of time. Alright, this one I'm going to try from this side. I'm gonna go with the smaller bit. I'm going to try to keep it right in the center. That proved to be very difficult last time, but let's try again and see if I can do better this time. Okay, so far I am doing better than the first time. Well, it's not exactly in the center. It's still trying to gravitate towards the inside, but it's not too bad. Go a little deeper with this and I'll try a bigger one. I think it may just be spinning now in the hole. Yep, we've moved into the middle again. We're going to do the same thing now. This is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. I've never had this much trouble with some stinking rivets before. Okay, I think we just broke through. Let's see if we can hammer it out now. Never a dull moment around here. Nope, it's got no interest in coming out yet. I'll just have to go a little bit deeper. Waste of time number 2. That went a little bit better. Alright, on to number 3. I'm going to start higher up on the rivet this time. Maybe it'll work better that way. No figure now it's too high up. Yeah, it's off center now. Okay, we got into the stator a bit on there, but it's fine. Not going to cause a functional issue. Waste of time number 3. Get out of here. Now on to waste of time number 4. Oh, I'm sweating. I gotta put this fan on. Okay, here we go. This will be the last one. Jeez. Okay, I think that should do it. Nope, not quite. Almost. It's very close. I feel it's starting to take bites out of the stator now. So we got to be very careful at this point. Well, this is free, so now we just have to get the rest of this out of here. Now we're getting into super risky territory, because we have to drill that out still. I really don't want to put a drill bit anywhere near windings. I like to just try to hammer it out if I can. I think I may be able to do it like this, maybe. Nope. I'm going to have to drill it some more. Oh, I don't like this. I do not like this at all. Oh, this is terrible. This is so bad. Oh, I really don't like this. That's not enough. I'm going to put this back on and do it through here, because at least with this cover in place, it'll keep the bit away from the windings. And this isn't great either, but I'll just eat a little bit of the stator out. I'd rather do that than cut the windings. Okay. We're definitely below the surface now. This looks like it's starting to come apart. Are you serious? There we go. What a joke. That was ridiculous. Okay. What is that, a half an hour at least easy later? We can now service the motor. That's all chewed up there, but it's just going to stay like that. There's more risk trying to fix that than there is just leaving it as it is. Alright, well, this made a mess. There's metal shards everywhere. There's a thrust washer down here, I guess. I think that's where it came from, I don't know. Oh, I know where that goes. That goes on the outside. Does it? I think that goes on the outside. Yeah, it does. It goes on the outside there like that. Okay. So the motor is now apart, for whatever it's worth. Let's clean everything up here. Get all these shavings because they're nasty if you get them into your skin. There's a special place at the scrapyard for pieces like this. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, now we are nowhere near done with the fun on this case, because I am now discovering that the motor has a rusty shaft. In order to get that cleaned up, we're going to have to get it to run. So it's time to open up the machine screws, which are straight from China. So hopefully they still work. You never know with this stuff from China. Half the time it don't work. Oh, I think it's perfectly reasonable to pair broken screws with such a ridiculous van. So I need to get this to close somewhat. I may have to do something about the way this is over here. I'm not sure yet. It's going to be somewhat of a problem. Because what's happening is it's not letting the screw go through. So I'm not too concerned about losing a little bit of material here. It just has to be kind of good enough so that the screw will go through, which is not really the case right now. Just for the record, I have never spent this amount of time servicing a Fiasco Galaxy 12-inch oscillator, because those motors are screwed together like they should be. Okay, so the screw went through. So let's put a bolt on the other side. Hopefully if I tighten it down enough, the discrepancy here will become irrelevant. It's wishful thinking, but maybe it'll happen. Maybe it'll happen, let's see. Put the other side in and then we'll be able to tell pretty easily if this is going to work or not. Okay, let's see. The motor may not align correctly. Nope. It's hitting the stator. So, we're going to have to correct that somehow. That's not going to be fun at all. The problem is actually not even so much with that one side, it's that it's not perfectly centered. That's pretty good right there. because the screws are not exactly the right size. They're a little bit too small, but it's whatever. I'm not changing them. Just have to adjust it, you know, very carefully when I screw it back together and make sure that it's as close to, you know, centered as it can be. In fact, you know what I may be able to do? I may be able to put these back through, you know, just two of them. Put these back through to align it, because one on either side should align it. I need to get two of these to go back in so that I can align this. Okay, so it is achievable. I just got it. It's not fun, but it's achievable. Alright, let's turn this stupid piece of junk motor on and we'll sand down the shaft. Oh, come on, just start up. It's not. Why is it doing that? I wouldn't expect that behavior. Wasn't expecting that kind of behavior at all. Get off of there. shaft, the rotor again. Nope. Oh, this is insane. So what I need to do is I need to get, well, I think the problem is, you know what, that's how I feel about this thing. The problem is multifold here. I think part of the problem is that this is kind of jacked up here, and so it's not sitting quite flat anymore. And then the other part of the problem is that the it's not, the bearings aren't lining up perfectly over the thing, and I don't know. I think the only way to correct that is to get those, those original pins back in there to align it up, at least one on either side, you know, one going this way, one going this way. It's going to be tough on this side because the holes are drilled out a bit. Yeah, I hate to condemn this after all that, but at some point this is no longer worth the time. Why is that not going through anymore? Okay, I don't know why that's a totally different size than it was before, but that's not going to work. Clearly it's not going to work. Oh man, this is rough. I don't know how you can possibly get this aligned without those things. You know, I would think if it was centered, if you could get it centered correctly somehow, which would be very difficult, but if you could get it there, I would think that it should run. Let me try it again. See, this is very precision, the way the way the shaft sits inside there. There's not a lot of room. And so if it's ever so slightly off, it will hit the stator, which is what we're experiencing right now. That's what that sound is. But what I'm not understanding is why we can't, once it's centered like it was before, why doesn't it run? I don't understand that. So right now, it's centered. It's not on this, hitting the shaft, the stator at all. So I would expect that it should run, but it's not. And now it's totally locked. This is awful. I can't remember the last time I've replaced the motor instead of repaired it. But that's the direction we're going in with this one, because this is insane. It's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. It's too. It's totally locked again. I don't think that the raise on this corner is what's causing the issue. I really don't think so. But it could be, I guess. me that feels like it's centered in the rotor. No, it's not, because it moved and it was. Get that. It's my, this is awful. This is just an awful fan. It really is. Doesn't make sense. Why does it not work? Well, this thing's got until about 9 o'clock. And it's getting scrapped. I'm done with this. This is ridiculous. This is just not built correctly. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure why it's like that. You know, I get that it's not going to self-align because the screws are not the exact thickness of what was there. I understand that much. But what I don't understand is why it won't. When I manually align it, why does it still not work? I don't think this is causing the problem, but maybe it is. Pretty much down to where it was. It's not contacting the stator at all right now. Not at all. But it doesn't Unless is it moving ever so slightly when I turn the thing on that it causes it to collide? I suppose that's a possibility. If that's the case, then I just need to get it tighter. I don't know how to align this. It's almost impossible without the holes and everything being the correct size. Because as soon as you tighten anything down, you get a problem. It's not in one area, it's in a different area. See, I just saw the stator shift ever so slightly there, and that threw it off. So that must be what's happening. The stator must be shifting just a little bit when power gets applied. Which means this is going to have to go so tight it's ridiculous. That's still working at the moment. Still good. That's as tight as I can get it. Okay. It's achievable. Just a pain in the neck and stupid and a waste of time. Okay. Now I can see on the shaft. Good enough for me, and good enough for these stupid bearings in this thing. What a joke and a half, and joke and 5/8. Stupid motor stinks. I'm not sure this is going to be reliable over time. That's definitely a concern here. Okay, I need to get a ticker towel, and I'm not editing the video. You're just going to have to wait a couple of seconds as I walk across the room to get a new towel. This stupid piece of junk isn't even worth one ticker towel. This fin. This is the last time I'm doing this. Next time it quits, we're done. I'm breaking ties with this thing. I'm going to clean it and properly lubricate it, and I'm going to give it a fair chance to work. And then that's it. If it quits again, we're done. And I'm not going through this again. This is ridiculous. There's not very many fans that I think aren't worth getting. This one. Jeez, this one is not worth getting. If I saw one of these stupid things in the trash, I don't even know if I would grab it. This is just, ugh. This is the worst thing I've ever worked on as far as fans are concerned. This is right up there with that stupid Holmes oscillating clip fan. That thing was a joke and a half to service too. Unbelievable. This shouldn't be built like this. Terrible, terrible. What the heck? Oh, great. Is everything gonna break today? Oh, not good. Well, hate that to be the reason why this quits. Why can I not get this stupid bearing off of here? I mean, the bearing is already ruined at this point. It's going to be scored on the surface. It's got to come off. So what just transpired here? This clip got all screwed up. I don't think it's busted beyond what I can salvage, as long as I can get it out of here. It's busted pretty good, but let's see if I can fix it. So it's supposed to sit kind of like this inside there. And this piece of junk. So I've always wondered if you could take this bearing out and put a ball bearing in. I just don't know how you would secure it, because that, you know, securing it would be a problem. What's the best way to insert this now? I don't think you'd be able to insert it after this is on. Oh, I'm gonna have to take these tabs off. This is not gonna work. I don't think it's gonna align right after I do this. So I believe what needs to happen is, kind of looks like how is that in there? It's in there like that. I think this goes like this. Which this is still kind of super screwed up, in fact. So according to the other the other bearing, it looks like it sits in here like this, and then this would kind of like press through to the other side. Yeah, that's definitely how it's sitting in there. Okay, so that's how that goes. So I guess we kind of recovered from that okay, as long as I can get these things to clamp shut. think that'll be okay. Somehow, I don't know. It's half a miracle that that's gonna go back together alright. Getting these things to close is gonna be a different story. Not sure how exactly to do that. It's going to move around too much. It'll never keep the shaft aligned. It's just one thing after another with this dumb thing. I knew that was going to be an issue trying to put that back together. I knew it. Still not perfect. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it perfect, but the problem is even that little bit of play there, that will be enough to cause a problem. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of play in the bearing itself, though. The initial issue was unsolved as to why in the world this no longer fits in the bearing. It just came out of this bearing. Why does it not fit into this bearing anymore? That's ridiculous. I can't get it to go through the bearing again. I don't understand that. Like it actually looks like it's like half a millimeter too big to fit the row. That doesn't make any sense. And the back fits through, but it's so stiff it's a joke. I don't understand what happened. If I can't get this to go through, I can't file it down. The amount of metal that's got to come off of this thing is unbelievable. And at this point, the bearing is probably shot from all this abuse of trying to force it through anyways. This is baffling. I've never experienced this in my life. I have never encountered this. I cannot believe the shaft is not fitting the bearing anymore. Okay, I got it to go through. I don't know why it wouldn't go through before. It's so stiff. Well, let's see if I can get it to run, and I'm going to shave down the living daylights out of the shaft. I don't know how else you'd rectify that not fitting. That's something else. Let's see if I can even get it to run. I may not be able to because there's too much play in the front bearing. Okay, this is not correct. This has to go out another back. To think all they had to do was use 4 screws and none of this would be happening right now. Also, some stupid greedy jerk can save a couple more cents per unit. All this for that. What a joke. And this is exactly why I have no respect for this series of fans. Because this is an untenable situation to live with. No consumer is going to go through this. I can't even go through this. How is the average consumer who's not even technical supposed to get this thing to run after so many years? feels 10 times worse than it did before. Not getting any point in here where it frees up much. The holes are so far out of whack at this point. I'm not sure it's going to screw together correctly. It looks like this is right where it needs to be. Let's try and put a screw in and see what happens. I don't have a lot of hope for this at this point. I'm getting very close to condemning this motor, which will be a first. I don't think I've ever done that before. So it's very, very rare that I can't get something to work, but this is just, it's a garbage motor, that's the problem. And you can only fix a piece of garbage so much. The stinking motors in the Lakewood 3733 are better than this. This is just awful. That's aligned, kind of, not really. That seems like it's aligned right there. I think that pulled it out of alignment. Oh no, didn't. Huh. Huh. Unbelievable. Not sure if I can add another screw there. It's going to take it out of alignment, I think. Flipping thing still is running. Okay, let me get a coarse sandpaper. And it's not coarse. This is incorrect use of a file, but I'm getting tired. Alright, so that's pretty coarse now. I'm going to have to sand it down, but it's starting to lose the alignment. I want to ruin the stupid thing. Well, part of me very much wants to ruin the thing because it's agitating. It'll be interesting to see if this operates reliably over time. I have a concern about it not operating reliably over time. I have a lot of concerns about this motor, but it's whatever it is. You know, this is really far gone. It's almost 9 o'clock. This is going to have to span into tomorrow as well. Certainly not going to literally lose sleep over this piece of junk. Okay, that's pretty good. Well, somehow it still works. I don't know how. It's baffling to me that this thing still works, but if it's gonna work, then I will keep trying to get it back together and running again. So that was the two. I want to mark the way this was set up here. So it was like this, this, and like this. Does the camera still have enough film? Here it does. It's gotta be close to running out soon, jeez. Okay. Patience is the virtue. Some like sticky material on here which needs to get cleaned off. The washers are all sticky on the inside. It's not correct. They should not be sticky on the inside or the outside. Now, if there is anybody that still thinks this fan is superior in any way, shape, or form to the Lasco Galaxy ones, I am going to lose it. Because it's not. This fan is a piece of junk. This is the worst fan I have ever worked on. Lakewood made a lot of great fans, but you know what? They also made the absolute worst fans ever made. Stupid pieces of junk from the hardware store or like bought yesterday are easy to service in this thing. It's ridiculous. Hopefully I can get through the rest of the video without the phone calling again. Okay, now that I'm not as frustrated now it's cold in here, I gotta put the heater back on. Yeah, this is really reminding me of that Holmes. Actually, it's that stupid fan I have on right there. That Holmes clip fan. This is kind of reminding me of that. I was very close to giving up on that fan, and I'm very close to giving up on this one as well. It's not common that I encounter stuff I can't fix, but at some point, especially when you've got a lot of stuff that is worth the time, sometimes the cheap stuff isn't worth it. And of course, we are still running the risk of it not working correctly because the scoring on the bearing there. But I'm just going to kind of ignore that that's the case and hope that it works just fine. Okay, the shaft is cleaned. Clean out this troublesome bearing in the front, and then everything will be clean. Oh, that was quite dirty. I wonder it wasn't working. The scoring doesn't look too bad in there. It's definitely scored a bit, but it's not the worst I've ever seen. Okay. The bearings are clean. Just fill them up with oil. The port is kind of useless because it only gets one of the wicks. There's two of them on either side, and the port's only going to get one. I'm putting an excessive amount of oil in here because I'm not sure I'm ever going to open this thing up again. Next time it dries out, that may just be the end of the line for this thing. Okay. Okay, so this is how I had it before. I'll put the two screws back in the same place. Hopefully I can get it lined up. Hopefully it stays lined up. I definitely have concerns about it becoming misaligned and locking up during operation, and I think this fan will never be operated unattended for that reason. Okay, so far it's good. Let's keep tightening this down. This has to go extremely tight in order to not run the risk of misaligning once it powers on. It's okay. Don't sound too good though. Sounds like it could be hitting the stator a little bit. I wonder if it is. I think it may be ever so slightly misaligned. I mean, that may just be what it is. You know, if it runs, it runs. Not really correct, but the fan is intrinsically incorrect. So okay, that sounds pretty good like that. Okay. Alright, that's as tight as I can get it to go. Sounds fine to me. I'd like it to really clean up this side down too, but let's see if we can. Oh, it's starting to slip on the other side. So it just doesn't like being quite that tight on this side. Okay. I'd like to put the rest of the screws in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Just with the way this has been going, it may do more damage than benefit. I tend to think this will throw it off as soon as I tighten it down. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay. think it's too happy with that being so tight there. It's not liking that one. Fine, we'll go without that one. I don't hear any stator collisions. Okay, there it is. I don't want to sit here and honk my own horn, but I like to believe there's not too many people on the face of the planet that could salvage this motor. Can't believe I really didn't think I was going to get this to work again. I of all people should not underestimate my own skills. Should never underestimate yourself. It's a waste of time. And a lot of times it's not true. Hopefully nothing goes wrong at this point, because now the force on the motor and the way it's assembled is going to, you know, the force will be on the, it'll be reacting a little bit differently to the motor, whatever. I hope it works. That's all. These screws can't go very tight or you'll just break the plastic. Now, how does this go? First off, this cord needs to kind of feed back down into the housing here. It's a bit twisted up, but it's just going to have to be like that. It's not going to give me any more slack than that. How even was this? I think this... Well, we know... Is this coming out the wall the wrong way or something? Is the capacitor in here like this? I don't even remember. Pretty sure that this has to go on here like this somehow. Yeah, that definitely go like that. Oh, the question is how is the positioning? That's correct. So that goes like that. And where does the capacitor go? Part of me doesn't even care where it goes. It's going to go wherever I put it at this rate. Where did the capacitor go? Now these three wires went into this clip here. Put those back. I'm not really sure where the capacitor was. Pretty sure it was just like showing in here. It kind of looks like it should slip in here or something. I don't know. I think it's just gonna go like that. I don't know if that's correct, and I don't care. I believe the wire is supposed to hook in here. I wonder if I can get it to do so. The hook may just break off. Pretty sure it's supposed to go on first. Oh, hey, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine as long as the oscillation switch doesn't get in the way. I think that's fine. And I don't believe that it will. Well, the thing works. Can't ask for much more than that. I'm pretty sure that's not fully correct in there, but I don't care. This has eaten up way more of my time than it's already worth, so if the wires are a little bit off, too bad. Oh no, working on the equipment while it's plugged in. Ah. Are you serious? Oh, I'm gonna lose it. The motor is backwards. The motor's backwards. I can't deal with that today. Well, it's the next day. It's backwards. Unbelievable. So we're gonna have to pull the shaft, pull the blade off the shaft again, which is not easy. Probably gonna have to get the pullers out, I think. And the whole unit's got to get disassembled anyways, so here we go. What an exciting project this is. I have never spent so many hours on a single fan. Nope, not gonna happen. No surprise either. Why would it be easy when it could be difficult and time consuming? Now, at the beginning of the video I mentioned how I don't know where the first part of the video potentially is. Well, now you get to see it because I'm disassembling it again. Unbelievable. This project is outrageous. Stupid blade. It's not reversible. Since it's running and it's operating, I think what I'll do is I'll sand down the shaft a bit more. This way it's just getting easier to work on. Where is my iron grit station? Here it is. Okay, that looks like it's went down a fair bit, so we should be able to hopefully get it to slide on and off without trouble now. So we know that the little slits there got to be facing the front. Okay, so the the fatal error transpired at this point. This needs to be turned around and be like this. Okay, so now we have to go through the fun of getting this lined again. Hopefully we'll be able to get it aligned. I don't know if something is bent a little bit. I don't know how it's going to go. Could be flaky. That seems pretty free right now. It lined pretty well. Okay. That was way too easy. Something's going to go wrong here. I don't know what it is, but something is just going to majorly fail any soon. Because that was way too easy. Well, I guess while I have this off, let's untwist the wire. That certainly should not be like that. Is it together correctly? Yeah, it's going the right direction though. So what am I missing? What is going wrong here that I'm just not picking up on? There's got to be something. There's no way that this is going this easily. No way. Okay. Something's not right here. It's working fine and it's going easy. There's something, I'm not picking up on something. Still don't quite understand where the capacitor is supposed to go. And I still don't care. Seems like it ought to screw onto something. I don't think that there's really enough space for it to have screwed on with the oscillation thing. I don't think the screw is long enough. No, it's not. It's not anywhere near long enough. I don't know. I don't know where it went. Probably could find out. If I went back and watched the original video, it may contain some insight, but truth be told, I don't care. The capacitor could fly to Mars, and I really wouldn't be concerned. Okay, if it wants to sit in there like that, that works for me. Totally fine by me. The oscillation is locking up. See? I knew something wasn't going to be right. And what is wrong with the oscillation? Maybe the cord was getting caught on something? Could be. Feels a bit stiff to me. Yeah, it is stiff. Stiff it may stay. Runs on low. What is wrong with this fan? Okay, so what is changing between the time the cage goes on and now? What is changing? Oh, jeez. I truly have never been so infuriated by one fan in my life. Is this not... Can that not be there? It's locked. Okay, that's acceptable. Okay, then the guard will just stay loose. I don't care. The guard could fly to Pluto and stay there for another 15 years and I wouldn't care. Fine. It'll be loose. That's all cuckoo. I don't care. Let it be all stupid. It can oscillate like a fool. Oh my gosh. Whatever. It's running. The guard is going back on and we're done. I know what the problem is. The stupid blade is not all the way. Get on there. Okay, here we go. Oh, great, now it works. What a stupid piece of junk. Wow, great, works wonderfully. Video over.